I know this may come as a shock to you, but as a concert photographer, you're not immortal, and neither is your gear. I'm Robert Maxfield. I'm a concert photographer in Dallas, Texas, and welcome to my channel where we talk about concert photography. Shocker, eh? So, one of the things a lot of photographers in general, concert photographers included, do not consider expendables and replacement of gear that they use throughout the year. And one of my favorite times to buy my replacement stuff is during Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So I take advantage of some of those sales. And one of the first things that I replace is I replace my SD cards. I replace my compact flash cards. And the reason I replace them is generally the more you use them, the more they break down and the more they become unreliable. And you can say, well, I can keep a card for 5, 6 years. Yeah, but if you take and shoot a lot of photographs, do a lot of work with them, they have a tendency to fail. And they literally break down and the circuitry no longer works. Also, I've heard people say, well, I use them as a backup and I store my photographs on them because it's a good place to do that. No, it's very dangerous, and over time, these little jewels break down, and you'll go to put your stuff in and put your flash drive or your SD card into the computer, and it'll come back being corrupted, and you'll have lost data. So it's a real issue. So what I do is I take the card itself and I label it with the date in which I purchased it. That gives me a good idea because I know how much work I'm going to do throughout the year, and typically I shoot somewhere between 50 and over 75 different artists in their shows every year. So now compound this. If you think you're one of these guys that's a spray and prayer or pray and spray or whatever you want to call it, and you shoot thousands of shots per show, the more you use it and the more you unload it every time you use it and then reuse it again, the more degradation that you get from it. So it becomes an issue and a problem. So, like on the back of this compact flash, I put 1224. So it lets me know I bought it in December of this year. And that way I can tell the difference between it and some of the other ones that I have. Some cards have a spot on them that you can label them like that, and some do not. Some cards are actually a little better than others. So the big advantage to doing this is it allows you to pre-plan and set money aside, knowing that you're going to replace this equipment at the end of the year. So you already got money ready for it to go, and you're not waiting till the last minute to have it gather the money, order the stuff. You know what you're looking for, and being able to get that taken care of. Batteries are another thing. I'm sorry, I have more batteries than I need, but batteries are a good thing to have. I buy a lot of these Nikon batteries from B&H, and I'll even buy them used. But what I'll do, they're third price or half the price when you buy them used. And what I'll do is I'll take and keep them and charge them every time, and then to keep them fresh. And then every so often I'll buy them and toss them. You can check your battery status on your camera. It's in the menus in your camera, and it'll tell you what percentage and how many shots have been taken on it. But these, when you wear them down, are very much like the SD cards and the compact flashes. The more you use them, the less dependable they are. The other thing that's I'm looking. The other thing is that I have a big issue with is the battery chargers, and I'm hell on the battery chargers. This model of Nikon battery charger, in fact, I got a battery in it. is the MH25, and it handles their normal EN15 is EN-EL15 battery. And these are I can't even talk, extremely fragile. I've dropped a couple of these on the floor, and as soon as you do the slightest jar, they quit working, and they're terrible. But and you're always, the big problem with this is when you need to charge your gear before a shoot, and you don't have a battery charger to do it, it becomes a massive problem. So what I have done is I've ordered some of these extra travel chargers, and these are actually a little bit better than this, believe it or not. Now, I don't know about speed and difference or whatever, but they work better. You plug them in the wall, and it's always nice to have at least 2 chargers. It's a big deal because no power or having to wait causes big time issues and hassles the night before you have a big shoot. So that's 2 things, well, 3 things you need to have to replenish typically at the end of the year when you have already money set aside and planned on doing it. Other things that happen that you probably want to replace, man, I lost a pair of my earplugs at a show at Port David's down in downtown Dallas last weekend. Doesn't sound like much, but it's $30-$40 that you got to replace, and if you got good earplugs. So that's also on my list of stuff that I need to do. So be prepared at the end of the year. Take and replace all the stuff that you need. Get what you want, and set the money aside for it, because if you don't, if you buy it when needed, all of a sudden you're spending money all the time, and you don't have any kind of rhyme or reason when you do it. Another thing I buy periodically are these, and these are fabulous because you can keep all your cards in there nice and organized and set up, and you can even if you need to, put a piece of tape in there and label the camera in which each one of these go to, because with multiple cameras, I've got one set I use in one camera. In fact, I'll use, in the camera I use the most, I have dual 64s, a compact flash, and an SD card. In the short range camera, I'll use 2 32 gigabyte SD cards, SD and compact flash. In the APS-C, the crop sensor camera, I'll use dual SD cards. And then in the video camera, which I'm recording on now, it's a single card machine, and I use a 64 gig SD card in it. So that's the other thing. If you're one of those kind of guys that use one camera and you use one card slot and one card, shame on you, because what's going to happen is when that thing does fail and you get a problem, guess what? You're screwed. It's over. Sorry. You know, if you're corrupt and stuff like that, no pictures. So it's a big problem. But these things will save you a lot. They're $1 on Wish. If you have women in your life that are shoppers and stuff like that, these things go out on Wish. I know where everybody says, hey, Wish is a scam kind of thing. I bought these for $1. I bought like 3 or 4 of them, and it took 6 weeks to get here. Yeah. Okay, came with all kind of Chinese stamps on it. Yeah. But it was $1. You go out and you look at them in a camera store, and they're $15-$20, and that's a lot of money when you don't need to. So printer ink, you're going to need, if you need printer ink, if you need printer paper, if you need anything like that, plan on it. Put it in a logbook. Write it down. I've got a dry erase board up on the top right above my desk, and I'll put what I want to order and keep a list of all that order stuff, because I don't want to forget, and I want to have it at the right time when I've got the money set aside to do it, and then I'll be prepped and prepared for the next year. In fact, today, normally our last show that we do, and this is our choice, our last show that we do is about the first or second week of November. But this year, I shot the last show. I didn't really shoot too much. I shot like half a dozen pictures simply because I was more it was the type of show it was today. So we're running real late this year. I shot the Rachel Stacey Cancer Benefit, a couple shots just to see, because there's one band I was interested in really seeing. I got 3 or 4 shots of them, and then, yeah, 3 or 4 shots of them, and I took some pictures to the crowd, and that was all I wanted to do. But we're done pretty much for the year unless something spectacular happens. And the rest of the parties, we're going to get some rest during the holidays, and we're going to prep for the next year because we're already making plans. I know we've got the first week of May on the books already, and some other things coming up, and that's what's going on around here. So if you see anything you like and subscribe. We love you to do that. It's wonderful. It helps our channel, and we're glad you're watching. And for that one guy, I got one guy out there, I can have 150 likes on a video, and one guy that doesn't like my video. But you know what? You're watching, buddy. It's okay. We'll see you next week. Later. Bye.